Okay, so then the next person whom we have to know about is Umberto Nobile, who was an adventurer who took airships over North Pole. So that's a very adventurous journey, and there is a very interesting book. There's a very interesting book about his journey and his experiences. So find out about that book. If you can give the link on Moodle page. Nowadays many books are available free online. So if somebody is able to download a free version of the book, it will be very handy for us to just have it. Okay, so the Moodle page is meant for these things, adding information to what we see and learn in the classroom. All right, now aircraft are still struggling to be designed safely and properly, etc. Airships, people are thinking of running them as airlines. So interestingly, this is where India comes into picture. So the Britishers were planning to operate airships to all the colonies which they were ruling. So you can see there was a Dominion of Canada, which was under the British territory. Then we had India, of course England, and then the Commonwealth of Australia. So since they were very far away and they had to be administered, they were 1 month journey on ship, etc. They said we will reduce it by going by airship. Okay, so there was a plan that they will travel in a week and reach. So that was a big achievement that time. So the airship that was planned to be used for this particular application was the R101. R101 is also a very interesting airship. So in 30s, now we have Britain, US, Germany, Italy, Russia and Japan. They were the people who make airship. Japan has now come into the picture. Why? Because Japan was also a big military power. So they also realized the importance of airships. So they came in for that reason. And the first British airship to arrive in India was in Kanpur, 1930. So I have a very interesting video about this particular airship and what happened to it. Okay, so what we saw is that they designed this airship for the travel to India and then from there to Australia. But this disaster took place. Now, we are going a little bit out of turn now, but what I wanted to do is look carefully at the picture. You will see a large number of people here and also on that side. These are the people who are required to hold the airship. So if you look at an airship like R101, it may require a ground crew of 200 people, maybe 300 people, the more the merrier, because it's generating so much of lift and it is a buoyant vehicle that to restrain it on the ground you need to have large number of people to help out. So we have gone a bit out of turn now because we have seen the Hindenburg disaster and then R101 disaster. I'll come back to that, but let's go back now in history a little bit. We see that now the US has started using airships for as the aircraft to be used on aircraft carriers. So they began patrolling the sea for maritime security using airships mounted on the ships. Okay. And interestingly, the US had very ambitious plans about use of airships. So when they built at that time the world's tallest building, the Empire State Building, the top of the building was supposed to be an airship mast. Even now when you go to Empire State Building, if you visit the Empire State Building, they say that on the 101st floor, if you go to the Empire State Building, beyond that there is a conducted tour for the airship mast. So their idea was that people would travel in airships, they would dock at the top of these buildings and then get down and then use the elevator and come down. So this way they said we don't have to really have very large grounds, but imagine how windy it will be and how bumpy it will be for people to walk out at that altitude from an aircraft and then come to a building. So it was planned to be used, but it was not used, I think, except in some attempts like this. Okay, then the Russians are also catching up very soon. But what they are doing is they have now taken help from Umberto Nobel from Italy, the same gentleman who went to the North Pole. His technology is being used by the Russians to make their own airships. And in 1935, we see that Count Zeppelin is again planning to connect the whole world using airships. So he was planning an airline using airships for connecting various places all over the world.